Alright guys, so today I'm making my coon bait, and I thought I'd show y'all how I do it. First thing you're going to need is, well, this right here is some coon bait I've already made, so I'll show y'all that a little bit later. But you're going to need an empty container. It doesn't really matter, it just has to have a lid, what container it is. It has to have peanut butter. I just bought the cheapest peanut butter. This is the Clover Valley brand. Just creamy peanut butter. I don't know, it was like $1.50. Syrup. Once again, this is the Clover Valley original syrup. Once again, the cheapest you can find. You're gonna need some type of fish. You can use whatever fish you want. I've used brim, tuna, sardines, just whatever. Right this time I'm using shad. I'm using threadfin shad because, well, threadfin and some gizzard. And there actually is one baby crappie in there, so it really just doesn't matter. Just as long as it's a fish. You're going to need a spoon and a knife. The first thing you're going to need to do is you're going to need to take your peanut butter and your spoon and your container and start dishing your peanut butter into your container. Take a little bit in there. Peanut butter is the main ingredient of all of my coon bait that I make, just because it smells good, smells sweet, and it's kind of, it's sticky. It's just, it clumps up really well, so it's not going to really dissolve with the rain when it gets wet and stuff. So I like that about it. Just get all that out of there. It's all the peanut butter. Then you're going to take your syrup. Put a little bit in there. Basically, I put it in there. I put as much in there as in my bait as I would want on my pancakes or my waffles, so a lot. Perfect. Basically drowned in it. Alright, so now, first you want to mix that up and get it all working together. Just kind of work it in. And now that you got it all kind of pasty, or not really pasty, but kind of like not as sticky, not as clumpy. I'm not really sure if that's a word, but just kind of more of a, kind of looking like that. And so now you're gonna want to prepare your fish to put in there, and I'll show you how to do that. Alright guys, so right now you are on my chest, on my little chest attachment. So right now I'm going to show y'all how to cut your fish up for the bait. Shed. There's a little baby crappie. Really don't know how it got in there, but it did. Just take a few of them. You don't need a ton. These little ones, like this one's about 1 inch long. I just leave it like that. I just leave it whole. I don't even cut it. So, take your knife and just cut it. I cut the head off first, and then just cut it into teeny tiny pieces. Little tiny slivers. Just cut, cut. You get about 5 or 6 chunks out of each one. The bigger ones will make longer chunks, so I make them thinner chunks. That. Just chunk them up. Alright, so now that you've got your fish cut up and your peanut butter mixed with your syrup, you're gonna just take your fish, dump it in there. You don't want to put too much in there at the beginning because it's gonna be hard to make it really hard to stir. Just stir it all together. Basically, it's just making it's just making it like a just a chunky bait, just lots of chunks. And it also makes your bait kind of go farther. The more fish you put in there, but also the more fish you put in there, the more peanut butter smell it takes away. So I don't want to put too much in there because, like I said in a different video, I don't want, in all my sets, I don't like to have a strong fish smell because they're not all on the edge of a creek. So the ones that the animals that are around aren't going to be feeding on fish as much. I'm not saying they won't come to it and you won't catch. I'm not saying you won't catch animals on a fish-based bait, but I just don't think it works as well. So that's why I'm making kind of a fishy and a sweet smelling bait, because for both of my scenarios. Alrighty, and that'll do it. Let's get it good and mixed and worked down in there. And that'll do it. And that should be your finished product right there. You want you some of that peanut butter, don't you?
You want peanut butter?
Not right now, buddy. Not right now.